What's going on, Elites? It's me, the Elite Ace. We live action. You already know what it is. As you can see by the title, this is not a video, about anything manga related, video game related, or anime related. And as you can see, there's nothing in the background either. This is something I haven't done in a long time. This is a video, about a real world topic. And actually, it's a video request, but this is something I've talked about for years, and this is something that this is the way I've always felt. So it feels good to, discuss a real world topic that I can discuss. Let's see, this comes from Black Ninja X89. He sends me, can you make a video stating how long one should stay with their family, in the same video mentioning what if an individual doesn't want to move out? And he says, I'm 23 because I'd rather work than be here at Boeing North Texas Job Corps. The trade is Homeland Security. If I was a non-resident, then it wouldn't be so bad. But my parents won't let me since I will never be on time. And so I have to be up at 6 a.m. every morning, Monday through Friday. I get out at 1 p.m. Fridays, but don't always get to leave at around 1 sometimes, because I gotta wait till 6 p.m. for my mom to pick me up, unless I have them drop off my car. And I want to quit real bad. I've been here for 4 months. There's been fights around here, people doing drugs like weed, etc. And if I quit, my dad is giving my car to my younger sister. The car is in his name. Maybe I should change my trade to culinary. But all those 4 months in security will be a waste. By the way, what 2 jobs you work at, and are they fun? And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for me being lazy, like lying in bed all day, etc. That could be in the second video about the laziness. Sorry for typing such a long message, Ace. Alright, no problem, Black Ninja. The long message was cool. Alright, now, my thoughts on how long someone should stay at home. Now, this can vary because there are a lot of different situations for people. Like, let me see. I moved out of my mom's house when I was 19. Now, we all know when you're 18, you're grown and whatnot, but the thing is, once you hit that age, for some people, some guys, or maybe not even guys, well, I'm going to say people in general, because there are some females who want to move out. A lot of females don't. You will find a female who's still staying at home a lot faster than you would a male. Once you're 18, you get that feeling like, okay, 18 now, I'm legally grown. Still not old enough to drink, but you're legally grown, so says the government. And, your parents are going to be a little bit more tough on you. They're going to be on you a little bit more harder. So it's like you're going to really try to do what you can to move out. When I hit 18, I was still stacking my money. Then once I hit 19, I was searching for a place. Everything. At the time I was with my girlfriend, we combined our funds, mostly my funds, got our nice first, apartment and whatnot. But I think, I honestly feel if, it all depends on the reason. If you are in your mid-20s on up, still staying at home with your parents, I know there's a reason behind it. Because it paints this image, especially with women. You meet a female, she's getting to know you, asking you questions. She says, where do you live? Oh, well, still stay at home. A lot of them will be respectful. They won't say what they're thinking. They'll just be thinking like, they probably thinking a lot of things like, you still stay at home. Like, but they might think of a lot of reasons. Are you good with money? Are you lazy? Are you broke? Are you a mama's boy? Are you just afraid of being on your own? Are you afraid of responsibility? They're going to be thinking a lot of things. However, I never look down or judge someone because they still stay at home due to the fact that you don't know the reason. There's people out there, they have to move, like they couldn't afford to put their parents in a nursing home, so they have to move in with their parents or have the parents move in with them and help take care of them. Or the person is the parents are disabled, or you could have loving you be blessed with loving, caring parents where you have a situation where, because that happened to me. I had a situation, had to move back home. Back at home with my parents. I'm like, and like I said, the way society is, they automatically paint a picture and an image on that. So when I got my place and then when I lost it, I had to move back home. You know, say if I was for me to chick, she asked where you stay, you know, I'd be like, well, stay at home. They're not gonna think of the possibility instantly, since society has painted that image of being grown, staying home. They instantly start thinking the negative. They don't think of any other possibilities or reasons why you still stay at home. But however, it is a natural thing to wonder when you say, oh, I'm 26, 27, 28, 29. Some will say 25. That's like starting the mid-20s and you're still staying at home. But there are some men out there who don't want to get their own. They rather stay at home and live and mooch off the luxuries, aka not having to pay any bills, of their parents. They don't want to get their own, and most of the time this limits your access and selection of nice female. And I say nice female, I say you have some out there that don't care that you're staying at home. But how is that chick? Like, how does she look? How does she act? Where's her head at? You know, you have those nice ones out there. You get what I'm saying. Let's see. And in the same video mentioned, what if that individual doesn't want to move out? Now, first off, Black Ninja, I commend you for wanting to move out. Because this is a quote I want you all to remember forever. This is something the Elite Ace always says. What grown man doesn't want his own? I mean, for real, what grown man doesn't want his own? This is the thing. Who wants to always live under someone else's roof? Who wants to always go by somebody else's rules? Even if, because you all have to start somewhere. You're not just going to get your dream place overnight, or when you get your place, it's not going to look exactly how you want. It takes time to accumulate. When I started here, I mean, when I got my small little place here, I didn't have my little table right there yet. You know, I didn't have these chairs yet. I didn't have this flat screen yet. You know, hell, next week, get a new computer. And the thing is, you know, my bed wasn't here. Of course, a lot of stuff had to get moved here. Some of the stuff I have to buy. And it feels so good to say and to know you have your own place. Because at the end of the day, even if it's not how you want it to be, it's yours. You call the shots, you make the rules. Someone come over, get out of line, make fun, teach disrespect, whatever. You can tell them the magic words. Get out, get the hell out, get the step in. You can keep talking while you're walking, however you want to say it. You don't even have to say it, you just point to the door. So, I commend you for wanting to get your own, because a grown man should have his own. I mean, and let me, you know what, and let's get on this. To a lot of people, and to you elites, what is the definition of a grown man to you? Now, okay, when you hit 18 by government law, you know, you're grown, you're legally grown, but you're still not old enough to drink, of course. So some say, oh, you're not grown until you're 21. So does a man mean, does having your own makes you a man? Not necessarily, because I could think of some men who are grown and don't have their own, and they're still not men. I can think of some men who are grown and have their own, and they're still not men. I know you're thinking, huh? Like, what do you mean? Of course, when I'm out there on the way to work or coming from work, or all throughout my life growing up, I see the you know, the moochers out there, the panhandlers, you know, the bumps, the lazy ones, the ones who be on drugs, who don't want to work, the ones who always asking for money. You offer them food, no, I want the money. Oh yeah, you a man, all right, you a sorry ass man. Get the hell away from me. Nobody put a gun in your head and forced you to make them decisions. Like, stop being lazy. Okay, we all make mistakes. Maybe you made a stupid decision going to the needle or the pipe or start snorting or smoking. You know, you probably had enough time to start over, but you gave in for whatever reason. You were weak-minded, didn't have a strong will, didn't believe in God, or had a strong bond with God, you wasn't strong with your family. You probably was strong with your family and you burnt your bridges with your family and your friends. So yeah, it's grown men out there, but I look at you as a sorry ass man. Now for the men who has their own spot, like, yeah, I got my car, I got my crib, but they're still not a man to me. You don't have the other qualities that complete you as a man. And what that is: character, level of respect, your morale, mental strength, will, etc. Because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I have my flaws. Yes, I have my own spot. Yes, I have a job. Well, jobs. And yes, I am a good person. I'm respectable. Respectable. And the thing is, I'm mannerable. You know, I have a good level of self-respect with myself, and I'm not spineless. I've done a lot of things to where people will say, like, you know what? People have actually told me, excuse my French, people actually told me, you're too fucking nice. I've been told you're too nice. I've been told you always have a smile on your face. That's good. People say, oh yeah, that's a good guy right there. But do what's right. I mean, if you believe in God, be proud of that. If you don't believe in God, don't bash the people who do. Don't go out doing wrong and teasing and whatnot. Just still be respectful and go about your life in a good, humble way. Even if you can't be humble, do your best to be humble. But those are one of the things that for me that makes a grown man. Like, don't be a coward. Don't, you know, do things to produce a bad character of yourself. Keep your wits about you. You know, don't just, like I said, don't just think just because you got your own stuff that makes you a man. Okay, you can say no one's taking care of you. That's true. But that's materialistic aspect of being a man. What about, you know, characteristics? Okay, you got the drive, little motive, ambition. You got your own. Some people, some of the stuff was handed to them, and they still boast and brag like they didn't, you know, got on their grind and stacked up and all. No, some people, they've been handed cars, or they've been handed a place, or they've been handed a easy. Oh yeah, let me hook you over the job. Yeah, 14 an hour. Yeah, here you go. Me, no. It's like, okay, my job, my boss who used to work there, he's my homeboy. He doesn't work there anymore. He offered me the job. Yes, so you can say that was a hookup, but these are the two things you need to consider. Me and him used to work at an old job together. And I remember the first time I met him, this is exactly what I said. Stuck out my hand. Hey, what's up? My name Chris. What's your name? He was like, Robert. Shook his hand. All right, man, welcome to the team. We've been cool ever since. I came at him correct. I showed him respect. You know, never disrespecting him. And we maintained that friendship all the way up to the future, to where he thought about, oh yeah, you know what? Let me call Chris and give him a job. That's exactly how it went, because when you show respect and be a good person, you never know how it's gonna come back. And he came right on time, Elites, because I was geared to move out of state. He came right on time. So you never know how things can come back at you as long as you're just cool. And it wasn't even no until, you know what? I'm about to be a good person, so good things happen to me. No, it don't work like that. Just do it naturally, and it'll come back naturally to you. So, yeah, I'm glad you want to move out. And for the ones who don't want to move out, I couldn't do it, man. Like, I love my privacy. I love my space. I love being able to say, this is mine, or I'm about to go home to my spot. You know, I come across a lady, let her know, hey, this is my spot. I can tell her to come over anytime. Like when I'm free and when I'm not working my 2 jobs, come over anytime. I don't have to worry about, you know, ask for permission or closing this door or seeing this person's gonna be here, telling this person to be quiet. When I come in from work, this is what I hear. Bam, right there. That's exactly what I hear. Close the door, lock it, take my shoes off, put my keys right there on the table, you know, hop in the tub real quick, boot up my 360, cut the air on, sit back on my bed straight chilling. Nobody else. After a full day of work, some days I work 2 jobs, nobody is in my ear. I'm just straight up chill, relax. You could do what you clean up the kitchen when you want to. Of course, it stays clean, but you get what I'm saying. Do what you want when you want to. No more, Eric, put down the game and come take out the garbage, or hey, cut the grass, or it's like you do what you want. That's the joy of getting on your grind and having your own. Because like I said, what grown man doesn't want his own? And it's good that you want your own, because it all has to start from a want. That's when the tiny flame accumulates. And once you let that flame grow bigger and bigger and be on top, man, trust me, it's gonna be worth it. A lot of times things do happen in life. We make bad decisions, bad choices that give us minor setbacks. But 23, you're still young. It can still happen. You get in your own spot. Even if it's after you complete Job Corps, I know it'll be worth it. Or if you come across, I know you said it'll seem like the 4 months are for nothing, but if you was to come across a trade with an equal value of income, hourly wage or whatnot, or greater, then you could take it. Also make sure you like it, because I know with your question you were saying, by the way, what 2 jobs do you work and are they fun? Yeah, I'm a cook at both jobs, and I like my job. I don't so much like the people or the rules, but I do love to cook, and that's the funny thing about life. You never know what you're gonna like until you try it, especially with job aspect at least. Because when I was younger, man, hell, this was 5 years ago, or 4. People would tell me, like, maybe you can get into cooking, or I would never, if I could go back in time and tell my younger self, man, you're gonna be a cook, you're gonna like it. I'd never guess, like, what? A cook? I mean, yes, I do know how to cook at home and at work, but I would have never thought. I mean, at times when years ago, we all seen before the Cooking Network channel, man, you don't pay attention to that stuff. Now, I love all them cooking shows. I love them. Master Chef, Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares. I love all the cooking shows. Food Network. I love it. I mean, this is how I make a living, and I don't even consider myself very good. I mean, I consider myself good because you have people who's been in cooks for 9 years, 10 years. You have these executive chefs. They know all the tricks of the trade, the tools, different temperatures, all this stuff. I'm slightly knowledgeable, but you have greater chefs and cooks out there. But I do like it because it's like forming art. It's like making art on a plate. You make the plate presentable. People eat with their eyes first. If it doesn't look appetizing, it's not going to seem appetizing. Yes, it can still look nasty. It tastes good, but still, that's not the point. First impressions are key. And yes, sometimes, if you don't know what you're doing, it can look good. But then when you taste it, like I said on the show, it's presentation nice, but it tastes like crap. I really like, there's so many styles and ways of cooking. I mean, you have so many different regions of cooking, all these foods from different cultures, all these different dishes and recipes. You have the soul food, Mexican food, Thai food. You have Chinese food, Japanese food. It just ranges from so many different types. You have to cook. Some you can bake, saute, broil, grill, just pan sear. You could poach eggs, scramble eggs, over easy eggs, different kind of pancakes, sausage, perch, cod, shrimp. You're dealing with seafood. The options and varieties are limitless. Then you have different tools. And I used to work with desserts as well. And I've seen how they make the desserts look all fancy, everything, cheesecake, tiramisu, key lime pie, all those kind of things. So I really do enjoy cooking. But test it out first. If you're thinking about going into it, don't do it because, I like it or it's cool for me. Do it on your own accord, test it out, see if you like it, yay or nay, see what fits you. But yeah, I hope this video was to your liking, Black Ninja. But yeah, I'm glad you want to get your own. Stay at it, because in the long run, man, it's gonna bring more responsibilities. Trust me, but that comes a part of life and being a man. Because before I leave, my father told me, he said, I'm not taking care of no grown-ass man. Yeah, like I said, my dad, he was on that strict stuff. Yes, my dad loves me. I mean, my parents don't even live in the same state. They stayed way down. So, In other words, my dad, he's like, you ain't stupid. You can read, write, count. You're healthy. You can walk. Fill out an application. Call and check the status. You know how to wake up on time. You know how to dress yourself. You know how to stay groomed. You know how to wash up. You know how to get to an interview. You know how to speak. You know how to be presentable. You know how to have, you have manners. In other words, ain't nothing wrong with you and you grown. Get out there. That's how my father put it on me. And he also said, don't nobody care about you out there. And he said, it's hard out there. And my father was not lying. I mean, it's not hard. Man, it's hard to where, like I said, this is all me. Got my bills right there. You know, just paid my rent on the 1st. You know, you gotta stay on top of your stuff, but at the same time, it pays off because it gets you in a habit of doing for yourself while you by yourself. So can't nobody completely talk down to you and say this and that, or you still a little kid, all this and that. And it pays off, of course, when you had a female company, 1,000,000% privacy. I guarantee you. Hell, my birthday that just passed, the birthday night, that night, had a couple of them called me at night. They went to get the nighttime action going on. Had options, choices, variety, privacy, and it pays off in the long run. So Black Ninja, Elites, I hope you like this video. I enjoy doing this real world topic video. This is the Elite Ace, signing out.